Hello again, Year 4. We're back again. Donkey's had 2 custard creams, so he's ready now for the story. So this is our next instalment of Ivan. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed my earlier story, and now we're going to get on with the business of Ivan. Are we all ready? Okay. So this is Jambo, and it's Stella's story, if you remember, because she's telling the story. Okay. Once upon a time, Stella begins, there was a human boy. He was visiting a gorilla family at a place called a zoo. What's a zoo? Bob asks. He's a street smart dog, but there's much he hasn't seen. A good zoo, Stella said, is a large domain, a wild cage, a safe place to be. It has room to roam and humans who don't hurt. She paused, considering her words. A good zoo is how humans make amends. Stella moves a bit, groaning softly. The boy stood on a wall, she continues, watching and pointing, but he lost his balance and fell into the wild cage. Oh gosh. Humans are clumsy, I interrupt. If only they would knuckle down and walk like we do, they wouldn't topple so often. Stella nods. A good point, Ivan. In any case, the boy lay in a motionless heap while the humans gasped and cried. The silverback, whose name was Jambo, examined the boy, as was his duty, while his troop watched from a safe distance. Jambo stroked the child gently. He smelled the boy's pain, and then he stood watch. When the boy awoke, his humans cried out, "Stay still, don't move," because they were certain, humans are always certain about things, that Jambo would crush the boy's life from him. The boy moaned. The crowd waited, hushed, expecting the worst. Jambo led his troop away. Men came down on ropes and whisked the child to waiting arms. Was the boy all right? Bob asks. He wasn't hurt, Stella says, although I wouldn't be surprised if his parents hugged him many times that night in between their scoldings. Bob, who had been chewing his tail, pauses, tilting his head. Is that a true story? I always tell the truth, Stella replies, although I sometimes confuse the facts. Lucky. I've heard that Jambo story many times. Stella says that humans found it odd that the huge silverback didn't kill the boy. Why, I wonder, was that so surprising? The boy was young, scared and alone. He was, after all, just another great ape. Bob nudges me with his cold nose. Ivan, he says, why aren't you and Stella in a zoo? I look at Stella and she looks at me. She smiles sadly with her eyes, just a little, the way only elephants can do. Just lucky, I guess, she said. Arrival. The new neighbour arrived about 4 o'clock. When the truck came lumbering towards the parking lot, Bob scampers over to inform us. Bob always knows what's happening. He's a useful friend to have, especially when you can't leave your domain. Shh, quiet down. With a groan, Mac lifts the sliding metal doors near the food court and places it where deliveries are made. A big white truck is backing up to the door, belching smoke. When the driver opens the truck, I know that Stella is right. A baby elephant is inside. I see her trunk poking out from the blackness. I'm glad for Stella, but when I glance at her, I see she is not glad at all. Sorry, my hair's in my hair. It's growing, is my hair? Because no one can cut it. Stand back, everyone, Matt yells. We've got a new arrival. This is Ruby, folks. £300 of fun to save our sorry butts. This gal is going to sell us some tickets. Mac and 2 men climb into the black cave of the truck. We hear noises, scuffles, a word Mac uses when he's angry. We don't want to know that word, do we? Ruby makes a noise too, like one of the little trumpets they sell at a gift store. Move, Mac says, but still there is no Ruby. Move, he says again. We haven't got all day. Inside her domain, Stella paces as much as she's able. 2 steps one way, 2 steps the other. She slaps her trunk against rusty metal bars. She grumbles. "Stella," I ask, "did you hear the baby?" Stella mutters something under her breath, a word she uses when she's angry. "Relax, Stella," I say. "It will be okay." "Ivan," Stella says, "it will never be okay." And I know enough to stop talking. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed my stories today. I know Donkey has. And tomorrow we might be met with somebody else from my family, another visitor. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll talk tomorrow. Goodbye for now.